Fort Lauderdale, Florida. This is NAB Show Live.
Ryan Salazar here with another edition of NAB Show Live, and today we have a very special guest, Mo Goyal, Director of Product Marketing at Evertz in Ontario, Canada. How you doing, sir?
Not too bad, not too bad. Glad to be here.
Thanks for being with us, sir. So I'm looking at your website right now, and I see you guys, Evertz is very well known in the past and even now for video routers and all sorts of stuff, but the transition to IP is huge. It's taking the industry by storm right now. And on this diagram I'm looking, I see the Mediator, Magnum, VistaLink Pro, and of course, you've got the Overture RT Live system. Do you mind talking about that workflow?
Yeah, I mean, one of the big things is that we've been part of this, leading this transition to IP over the last few years. And what you see with our software-defined video networking solutions, or SDVN, is really the complete workflow from production all the way to playout. More specifically, to relate to the question you brought up about Overture RT Live, it ties in with Mediator, which gives us a complete channel playout solution, which allows us to basically play content for HD, SD, as well as, and what we'll be showing at the show is 4K with HDR. The system is really tied together using an IP backbone. Mediator is the asset management system that allows us to move content across the workflow, helps us monitor or optimize the process or the workflow of moving content from ingest all the way to playout, and trying to optimize trying to automate as much as we can with the workflow there.
And Mo, I'm looking at your diagram again. I see the network switch. I assume you provide those switches for this environment.
Yeah, one of the big things is that we've, as part of our solution, is not only are we sort of focusing on the gateways, we've actually built our own network or sort of packet switch. We got various sizes from 16 port all the way up to up to 46 terabits in terms of capacity. And it's really these packet switches that have been sort of the cornerstone of a lot of the newer facilities that are being deployed that are based on IP, 10 gig Ethernet, with the future of 40 and 100 gig Ethernet. And really what we've done is we've designed this packet switch to, it switches IP packets, supports 2022-6, supports 2022-2, Aspen, and any other format that may come down the pipe, like Sony NMI. It switches that no problem. It really is kind of coupled with the control system, which really gives the benefit of a switch fabric that allows us to move IP, but the familiarity to the actual broadcast engineer that it can be controlled like an SDI environment.
And Mo, CDNs are such a big thing these days, distributing over IP, even transcoding is huge. You guys do all that as well, correct?
Yeah, I mean, part of the big element of our actually playout component in terms of Mediator and Overture RT Live is the fact that we are not only allowing our customers to deliver to the linear platform, which is your traditional distribution network, but also to handle the nonlinear elements. So part of our portfolio are including things like RenderX, which allows us to create multiple formats all at once in parallel to allow our customers to derive from their main feed content multiple platform or multiple formats that they can then deliver out to the CDN, and really simplifies the workflow without having them to basically have one workflow for the linear side and another one for the nonlinear. We really combine that in, and we really derive some capabilities that allow them to generate those content very quickly.
Now, so switching from an older type of facility to an IP-based facility, I know you guys are probably dealing with that all the time. So you're probably assisting these stations to make that transition, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the big things that's been happening over the last couple of years. We've introduced the technology of SDVN probably about 3 years ago, and it was really one of those kind of, paradigm shifts that the industry kind of looked at and like, well, I don't know what to do with it. But ever since 2014, when we introduced ESPN Digital Center 2, which was probably the first facility that went to a completely IP core, to where we are now, in which we've had the Super Bowl done with one of our mobile trucks, NEP's CBS truck, that had an IP core. We have seen this transition happen, and it's happening fairly frequently. And with probably about 40 plus installs worldwide, we've been really on the forefront of this transition.
So can we dig a little deeper into the Mediator system?
Sure. So one of the big things about Mediator is that it's been our asset management system for a few years now. And what we've been able to do with it is really look at ways to, as I mentioned earlier, optimize the workflow that is used within a facility. As we've seen facilities really transition from tape-based to file-based, we've needed a tool that helps manage that flow, manage the file flows through the facility, while looking at ways to optimize, minimizing the amount of manual processes that are in the facility to find out ways to make it more efficient. What we're starting to see over the next, what we'll be displaying really this year at NAB is how we extend that into, or enabling that to be used over cloud services. With a lot of transition to moving to cloud in the cloud and things like that, what we're going to be showing is we've got Mediator, which allows us to use cloud services to create environments where I can offload extra services or processes to the cloud when I need it. So in my facility, just to give you an example, in my facility, I have a process in place, but I may have all of a sudden a number of content that comes in which I've got to process, and I don't have the physical resources to be able to do that. With Mediator, I can start spinning off these services in the cloud to kind of handle that peak load or that extra workflow or that extra load that we've got, allow us to kind of manage the next or the level of processing. And then once we're done, we kind of free those resources back into the cloud and allows us to continue on. So it's a very powerful content management system.
In regards to high dynamic range, can you guys handle that over IP?
Yeah, we've got a number of different ways of carrying 4K with HDR across the IP infrastructure. One of the big things is that we will be highlighting that at the show is complete kind of 4K workflow all the way from production to play out. And it's really going to be highlighted with us carrying across an IP infrastructure that is based on our SDVN solution.
Excellent. All right, Mo Goyal, Director of Product Marketing all the way in Ontario, Canada from Evertz. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. Go ahead and share your booth number, sir.
We're in the North Hall at 1502.